How's it going? I'm listening to a video right now. I may be yelling a little bit because I've got earpods in. Sorry. I've really got a song stuck in my head, so I'm letting it play while I process this next video. Humility. This is important for some reasons. I'm trying to kind of keep that light out of the picture here. Wait a second, I think... Let's see if I can do this. Is that too dark? It's pretty dark. I can't keep it like that. Not honestly. Look, humility is important. And it took me a while to get to this point. It took me a while. How do you put this together? Humility is important because if you don't have it, then you're just relying again on yourself, right? You're opening up all this opportunity to like stress out and fail and be insecure, and you're just not whole. You're like a fractured part of yourself without humility. I feel like that's a little crazy to think about too. How did it, well, I'll give you an example. I changed jobs. The 2 years that I was away from, Navis, where I work, I realized that time was going to be a great time. That was going to be a great time for me to work on myself, the personality flaws that I had, the extreme... I don't know what the word is. The lack of humility, really, I guess. And I've got a couple friends that I made over there at the Verizon store that really helped me through it. I almost didn't even have a chance to operate the same way that I used to. I've got a bug. I'm sorry. I didn't have a chance to operate the same way that I did before because it wouldn't work. These guys were constantly pulling pranks and razzing me, and I was razzing them back, trying to keep up. And I just found it to be such a time of growth. It was incredible. These guys are complete jerks, and they deserve to be pushed in the mud. But the thing is I learned so much by being made fun of in different scenarios. And it also helped me. What it also did was help me with my temper and my resilience towards just simple little jokes. I would say 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it was, if somebody, squirted me with a squirt gun, I'd get all offended about it. And it would take it to like a whole different level. Like it just shouldn't get there, right? We shouldn't have to deal with that. Especially if I call myself a Christian, you shouldn't have to deal with my insecurities, okay? So a lot of it was to build out my character and get me to that next point. I heard a noise again. If you watched the last video, you'll notice that a noise kind of freaked me out. I don't like this. I don't like that angle at all. A noise kind of freaked me out, and I went and did a little bit of a safety check. Well, couldn't find anything, and it's kind of like, well, what do, right? I heard a noise. And what are you supposed to say? I don't know. Well, while I was on break doing the other video, after doing the other video, I found the source of the noise, and it was the sink dishwasher. Oh man. I wish like I knew some words so I could talk to you guys. This is really embarrassing. This is exactly what we're talking about, right? Humility. I can't remember what the little brush is called that you clean dishes with. Whatever that thing is a brush, right? That brush fell. It fell and made a noise, and that was the noise. Really off topic. So let me just line this next thing. Oh no, Dutch needs to be let in. I gotta do. Sorry, you don't mind, do you? I think he's in here. Maybe he went. Oh, he went around. This is gonna get dark. Okay, let's just let this buddy in. I had a dark part of my last video too. I'm sorry. I'm a terrible host. Okay. I am wearing flip-flops if you're wondering what that noise was. So, right. I cannot talk and type at the same time. Oh no. That's not going to be good. Oh, yes it is. Okay. Humility. So, I mess up a lot. I think I'm back on track. My experience was this. I knew what was going to come. I could tell after I made this career transition that I was going to go through a challenging time, yet it was something I could handle. It was something I was ready for. And that's just personally where I was. Maybe that comes at a different time, or maybe it's forced by others to sort of intercede in that area. This is what I found. Oh man, that's exactly how long I wanted the video to be. This is what I found. It took me over a year to work on the humility thing. This is where little jokes are being cracked at me. I would be okay with it before, and I would do a pretty good job, but sometimes it would get to me, right? And just something about it. I don't know what it was. Well, I worked with this guy who was super abrasive. He was the worst. His initials are A and N. So we would constantly razz each other. And I got him back pretty good most of the time. But he had a couple jokes that were just too good to really comprehend. They were so funny. I applaud him. We had a great time working there. It's the hardest that both of us have ever laughed. It's like top 10 or something. You don't even think about that, right? Until you're there, you're in it. It was amazing. But I learned how to control all these emotions that you feel when you're offended. And that's so important because it's like, in order to have a conversation with somebody, if you're going to go out there and you're going to talk to somebody about your God, your Lord and Savior, you've got to be receptive to what they have to say on the topic. Otherwise, no one cares. No one's going to care what you have to say. I think these things are famous. I call them, I guess, sort of like common knowledge, right? And this was a customer service thing. But they don't care what you know. They do not care what you know until they know how much you care, right? That's kind of profound. They don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I found that to be true. You really have to listen to people. And with customer service, it boils down to repeating back what they said and then giving them the solution because you have it, right? You have that solution. It's important to give them that key, that piece where you identify with them. You say, yes, this is an issue. This one thing that's bothering you has been an issue, and we apologize for it, or whatever it is. So being able to get to that point, communicate with other people, it's important. So I take things less seriously, It's just things aren't as important anymore, especially when I know what's going on for the kingdom. When you have a perspective, when you have a God perspective towards someone else, when they come at you with an offensive term or they accidentally say something that's against your faith, you're not fazed by it, because the bigger picture is you're just trying to share some truth with them. You're trying to share what you've found. It's amazing. So I think that this is important to have. This is something we're all we're called to control. We're called to control this in our lives. Oh man, the length of this video, I apologize right now. Yeah, so why is it important? It's important because it allows us to operate on a level that we wouldn't normally be working on. But you guys, listen. Just like you, I'm called to minister to a specific group of people. If I don't trust myself, if I have issues with myself, I may have problems ministering to that group. And we're going to be held accountable for that. That group of people that only I can connect with and minister to, I want to be doing a good job. I want to have it, you know? I don't want to miss out on that, not anymore. I want it to be when we look back at this time, I want it to look like I knew what I was doing. That's how I feel about it. So I think the more that we can do this, the better we'll be at ministering to others. Humility is kind of a big part. I didn't prepare that much of this particular video, and I refuse to let this go on too much longer. But humility, you know, it's pretty important to conquer this in your life. I would recommend starting now, because again, it took me over a year to do it. So AN, this one's for you, buddy. All right, if you guys have any questions, comments, put them down below. That's all I'm going to plug right there. I just want to get people involved. That's it. So thanks, guys. Talk to you later.